keep hearing how the left is the party of violence, and we keep hearing about how the left is the one that wants to perpetrate violence on people that they don't agree with. But then we see stories like this. FBI silent as far-right podcaster demands Trump execution and Cash Patel torture. A far-right Pennsylvania activist and podcaster has suggested Donald Trump should be executed and FBI Director Cash Patel and Deputy Director Dan Bongino tortured in both cases for failing to provide evidence in support of anti-Semitic conspiracy theories. Quote, Donald Trump, along with every other president since John F. Kennedy, is a traitor to this country, Matthew Wakulik wrote on X last month. This is just another example of why 90% of all federal government employees should be tried for treason and given the maximum penalty. Wakulik is angered by Trump's failure to declassify government files on the Israeli military's 1967 attack on a U.S. naval ship, the USS Liberty, which was determined to have been a mistake. In May, the Burn Pit podcast, which he co-hosts with Scott Seiverts, a former U.S. Marine, Wakulik responded to a Fox Business interview in which Patel and Bongino discussed the case of Jeffrey Epstein, the financier and convicted sex trafficker who died in a suicide, allegedly, in 2019 in a New York jail. Angered because Patel and Bongino failed to say Epstein was an agent of the Israeli intelligence services, Wakulik advocated, quote, torture to get information, to extract information, whether it's waterboarding or sleep deprivation. Wakulik has also advocated shooting Susie Wiles, Trump's White House chief of staff. The FBI and Department of Justice declined to comment. Since Trump entered politics in 2015, conspiracy theories wheeled against political enemies have been a defining trait of his movement. Wakulik, a Pittsburgh area resident who regularly disgorges violent anti-Semitic rhetoric, recalled in the most recent episode of his podcast that in 2020, during Trump's first term, he attended a rally in Richmond, Virginia, while armed with an AR-15 rifle that was meant as a, quote, show of force to dissuade the then Democratic-controlled state legislature from passing gun control measures. The article goes on to discuss this guy's other lunatic conspiracy theories and whatnot and what have you, but this is what we see coming out of people on the right. You know, they glom on to these conspiracy theories. They glom on to some insane notion somewhere. And then if you don't give them exactly what they want, much like you see from the far left, all of a sudden you need to be assassinated, you need to be murdered, you need to be unalived, you need to be killed, whatever the fucking wording is today on any given social media app. Where's the FBI? Where's the investigation? Where are the arrests? I mean, this is a guy who is called for the assassination of the President of the United States and the torture of the head of the FBI. Are they ever going to hold their own accountable?